Welcome to Bob's Transit Van. In this video we're going to do something a little different. It takes a lot of tools to build a van, and I'm going to go through some of the tools that I've bought for my van build that have proved very helpful. Let's get going. Alright, so the first tool that I want to go over is my Ryobi battery powered caulking gun. This has come in handy putting down the adhesive for my floor and putting silicone up on the roof around the holes for my roof rack. I'm also planning on using it for window weld when I put my AC unit on. Much better than a hand operated. This caulk gun is about 50 bucks on Amazon. That's without a battery. So if you want to buy a battery and a charger, you can get a kit that's $122. But once you buy the charger and the battery, I started buying other Ryobi tools so that all the batteries are compatible. So this has worked really well. Just when you're using it, don't forget to use the little metal rod here to poke the inside of your caulking tube. Don't ask me how I know about that, but this has come in really handy. A lot of people are using riv nuts or plus nuts on their vans so they can mount things to the metal walls of the van without having to get behind it to put a nut on it. This right here is a plus nut, which is what I'm using. Riv nut is a shorter version of this that doesn't crimp down as much. So I think these have better hold on the metal so you won't get spinners. But to put these in, you're going to have a special tool, either a hand operated or a pneumatic tool. I went for the pneumatic. The one I bought is called the RZX rivet nut tool on Amazon. It's about $126. The reason I chose this one is because it comes with the mandrels for M6, M8, 1/4 inch, and 5/16 of an inch, which are the four most common used sizes of plus nuts from what I've seen. Now there's different versions of this on Amazon, probably all made in the same Chinese factory, but this is what it looks like. This is called the RZX 803. You have to have a compressor, of course, which air hose hooks here, and then you've got a forward and a reverse triggers here. So you forward when you're installing the riv nut, and then reverse to screw your mandrel back out. Now each mandrel comes in a little bag here. There's just a hex socket type hole in there. You put this driving rod in there like that. Then you line up your bolt on the inside. Then you got to pull back on the collar and it'll seat in there. Alright, so it comes with the bolts here, which is just a regular Allen head bolt, but this is the size that you would use for a regular riv nut. if you're going to use plus nuts like I do, you have to go buy longer bolts. 2 inches about is what they usually end up being, so that this plus nut will screw on there. See, it's way too short the way it is now. So when you're using this, you just hit forward, screw your plus nut or rivet nut on all the way, but you can't go too far or it will start crimping it. So once you get it on there, then you put it in the hole in the metal, hit the forward button, and it'll drive until it compresses the plus nut all the way. When it gets down to there, you can hear the gun to start slowing down, and once it comes to a stop, release it, hit reverse, and unscrew it out of the plus nut. I put all the 1/4 inch plus nuts in my van in about 20 minutes using this. So it would have taken a lot longer with a hand operated tool. So this was $126. Then you got to add with the cost of going to buy the longer bolts, which depending if you buy regular bolts or stainless steel or whatever, it's going to vary. But this is a very handy tool. Okay, a lot of people are using the 80-20 aluminum extrusions to build the framework of their cabinets now. So if you're going to do that, your regular woodworking tools probably aren't going to work very well. So first thing you have to be able to do is cut this to length. For that, I bought the Evolution Tools Evo Saw 380. This is a piece that I cut. That end is the factory end. This end is the end that I cut with the Evo Saw 380. It does a really good job. Not a lot of burrs. Doesn't deform the extrusions or anything. Alright, so here's the Evolution Tools Evo Saw 380. It's a 14-inch saw. It uses more like a regular circular saw blade. It's not one of those abrasive disc type blades. I'll show you that over here. That's the aluminum blade that I've got on right there. It also comes with a steel blade when you buy the saw. Now the saw you can get on Amazon for $378, but you can get it on their website for $320. And if you buy the base, the table, which doesn't come with a saw, you can get the pair for $490. And then if you're cutting aluminum, the blade is another $92 on Amazon. It's actually cheaper on Amazon than it is at buying it on the Evolution Tools Power Tools website. And it's got a pretty good clamping system to hold your 80-20 or steel in there. I've cut 80-20. I've also cut unistrut with this, and it goes through unistrut no problem. So once you've got your 80-20 cut to the length that you want, you have to be able to hook two pieces together somehow. Now, probably the most popular way of doing that is using one of these 90-degree angle brackets. And of course those just slide on like so, and then you tighten them down. Now this is not the strongest fastener that 80/20 offers, and also if you want to be able to fit a 1/4-inch panel inside here, you're going to have to cut around this fastener because it's in the way. So I'm trying to use some different fasteners that'll let me put in panels and I won't have to cut around that L bracket. So the first fastener that I'm using, this is called the end fastener, and it requires that you have the hole in the middle of your 80/20 tapped for, in this case, for a 1/4 20 bolt. So then you just screw your end fastener on here, and these two just slide together. And you notice that there's nothing in the way here, so if you're going to put a 1/4-inch panel in here to fill the hole, you just have to cut around one little bit in here. So that'd be a much better way to do it. So first of all, we have to be able to tap the hole in the middle of the 80/20. For that, I found these Greenlee drill taps. These work really well, just using an electric drill, and I'll show you a quick demonstration. Alright, so I'll do a little demonstration here of how the Greenlee drill tap works. I've got a piece of aluminum extrusion here. First thing I want to do is clamp it to the work table so it's not going to move around. So that's good. Now I've got my drill tap in my drill. Make sure it's going the right way. And you're going to need, I'm using an old toothbrush so I can clean out the threads on the drill tap in between. You want to use some kind of lubrication. So I've got some thread coating oil. I just dip the end of the drill tap in. And you want to make sure on your drill that you got one that's got the clutch so it'll release if it gets really bound up. I've got mine set on about 18. We'll see how that goes. So you just put the end of the drill end in the hole. When it breaks loose like that, back up. I'm going to raise it up to 19. When it stops, back it up, and clean up the aluminum off the drill bit. I like to go all the way till it gets to the end of the, and back it out. There you got your drilled and tapped hole, so you can use your end fastener. Alright, so once you've got your hole tapped, you can put your fastener in there, and you can slide it together. But you got to be able to get your wrench through the 80/20 to tighten it up. So you have to drill a hole like that through the 80-20 to get your Allen wrench in there to tighten it up. 80-20 sells a jig. It's called the Access Hole Drill Jig. Part number 6120. And it runs 30 bucks on Amazon. What you do is it's got two guide pins here that keep it centered in the extrusion, and it's got a T-nut, so you just put that on there, tighten it down. It's got an etched line right here, so you can line it up perfectly with where you want your hole. Tighten up the Allen and then drill your hole all the way through. And the drill bits you need are part number 6115, and that's a .201 drill bit. I've been using this on with a drill press for most of the holes, but with that drill jig you probably use just a regular hand drill and still be able to make your holes accurately enough. The next fastener that I'm been using it's called the anchor fastener. It looks like this. For this one, you have to have a hole in the end of the extrusion. I bought a 9/16 inch end mill that I've been using on my drill press. It's not the most accurate solution, but it seems to be working. I guess the alternative would be to go find a tooling shop that would do this for you, or find an 80-20 distributor that would do it for you. But the way this fastener works, this silver part just drops in the hole, then you put your other piece of 80-20 in there, and then there's a bolt, and you just tighten it up. But that's one of the strongest fasteners right there. The end fastener and this fastener are both pretty strong because they're pulling the extrusion together, whereas the L bracket, this thing, is just sort of holding them side by side. They're not really being forced together. Alright, those are all the tools that I wanted to show you. If you're thinking of using the 80-20, some of these tools will come in really handy. And of course you can use the L brackets without any tools at all. All you'd have to do is be able to cut your 80-20 to length. But I like the look of the end fastener, and I'm planning on using the panels inside the 80-20 in some areas. Well, that's it for this video. Have a great day. See you in the next one.